Olá raposas e magos, tudo bem com vocês?
Eu sou a Yuki, e bem-vindos ao mundo da Yuki.
Bom vídeo! Continuando da onde paramos raposas e magos. Espero que gostem do vídeo, se inscreva no canal e ative o sininho de notificação para mais vídeos e futuras lives. Deixe seu like e comente o que estão achando. Não deixe de me seguir também nas outras redes sociais, links na descrição e bora lá, raposas e magos.
It's a relief to see you all made it back in one piece.
Huh? Feels like there's quite a few people missing. Where's Flint's and the others? And what about Nefer?
I returned ahead of them. Flint is helping Ino and Anefa to set up the decoys and buy us some time. As for Miss Nefer...
Boss is still wrapping things up on her end. She sent us back to fill you all in on the top secret intel we've been gathering.
I see. Then let's get right into it. But first, who do we have here? You brought someone else in to help?
Greetings. I was invited here to help as a longtime Tea Party companion of Columbina's. You may call me Arlecchino.
Surely it can't be.
Those eyes. Oh, where have I seen them before? Wait, of course. In those memories we just saw.
The only Arlecchino I know is the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers. So either you share a pretty uncommon name, or you're more than just a Tea Party buddy.
You are well informed, Grandmaster. A man from Mondstadt living all the way out here in Nodcry, and yet the people and affairs of Snezhnaya seem to hold a special place in your heart.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. Sounds like you know all about who I am, too.
A Fatui Harbinger.
The atmosphere in here just got really tense. Guess we can't just start trusting Fatui Harbingers, even at a time like this.
I must admit, though, I'm a little curious. Seeing as the Moon Goddess no longer belongs to the Fatui, what makes you so willing to put your neck on the line here?
Nor does Nodcry belong to Mondstadt, Mr. Varka. Yet still, you're fighting for it all the same. Things don't always have to have a tangible payoff. Sometimes, stopping things from spiraling out of control is a higher priority than chasing the spoils of victory. Of course, I can't say there's nothing in it for me at all. But that's between Columbina and myself.
Arlecchino foi fundamental para nos ajudar a salvar toda a Fontaine.
Forgive me, I don't mean to doubt you. It's just that the Fatui really have been the source of many of our troubles. We have our own way of doing things here in Nodcry. But ever since they arrived, the Fatui have treated us with nothing but hostility.
I know there's been a lot of bad blood between us in the past. I've done my utmost to avoid friction whenever I could. But sometimes fundamental conflicts of interest simply can't be settled amicably. That's why I'm here solely in a personal capacity. This has nothing to do with the Fatui. As a gesture of good faith, I'll be frank. I can help Columbina track down the iridescent moon's marrow, which will help her restore more of her power. Anyway, what else is on the agenda? Let's begin.
She says she'll be frank, then completely skips over the details. Looks like she doesn't want to give away too many secrets after all. But she clearly wants to change the subject. It'd be awkward if I tried to bring it up again now. I guess we'll just have to go along with it. She's the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers after all. One look and you can tell she's not someone you'd want to mess with.
Well, since Miss Arlecchino sounds confident in her ability to handle that, we'll proceed to the next topic. Yehoda, time to share that top-secret intel.
Alright, listen up everyone. First, we now know that Rerir was originally a Conrian secret agent whose primary mission was to hunt down and assassinate the so-called Dregs of the Crimson Moon.
The Dregs of the Crimson Moon?
Mm-hmm. In the memories, there was a lot of talk about the Crimson Moon and Eclipse, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the time of Conria.
To my knowledge, those were the names of 2 different Conrian dynasties. Long, long ago, it is said that the people of Conria worshipped the Crimson Moon, drawing a mysterious power from its reflection. But one day, a coup saw the Crimson Moon eclipsed, hence the name of the new dynasty that replaced it, and how it became the new emblem of Conria.
Still, long after the Crimson Moon dynasty had fallen, the last ruler of the Eclipse dynasty, the Vinster King, still coveted the secrets it left behind. So, he sent the Rehir of Solnari to secretly hunt down the Crimson Moon's few remaining followers. In those days, Rerir showed no signs of madness. In fact, he was as normal as any other person. Oh, and he had a fiancé, or at least a would-be fiancé, called Tholindis.
Tholindis?
What's the matter?
Ele gritou esse nome.
Daughter. Tholindis.
Interesting. Anything else? What about this would-be fiancé of his? Do we know any—
Well, she was a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum, but it felt like she was hiding some kind of secret.
Oh, and one more thing. For some reason, Rerir's fragment also contained some of Tholindis' memories, though only a very small portion.
Well, no shortage of potential leads, I'll give you that. In any case, it sounds like we can conclude that while Tholindis was still around, Rerir appeared to be lucid and quite normal. Tholindis, it seems, must have been the one thing in this world that he couldn't let go of. Tell me though, were these pure-blood Conrians we're talking about here?
Why do you need to know that? Hold on. If she was a pure-blood Conrian...
A maldição da imortalidade.
Oh yeah! Just like how it was with the captain!
If we could somehow find her, do you think there's any chance Rerir might regain some of his sanity?
It's possible, but it would take a miracle. We can't pin all our hopes on that. That merchant who never knows, Dori Sangama Bay. Maybe we could hire her to look into it.
All right then. Let's keep working in our separate teams. Traveler, Paimon, Kutar, and Miss Arlecchino will go look for the iridescent moon's marrow. As for the others...
On the way over here, I noticed that the wild hunt monsters had grown even more frenzied in their search for Kutar. At this rate, the people living here will be in grave danger too. So I'm thinking of gathering together some of our followers to go wipe them out.
I'll head back to the curatorium and meet up with the boss.
Feels good knowing we've all got something to be getting on with. Given that the Wild Hunt has been a lot more active lately, the Lightkeepers have likely begun their own operations too. If that is the case, someone will need to pass the news on to Flint's. I'll hold the fort for now, then discuss our next move with Flint's, Ino, and Anefa when they get back.
Alright then!
Well, the clock's ticking. If that's everything, we'll be on our way.
We'd better get moving too. We'll try to buy you as much time as we can.
Relax. Just do your thing. I decided to call in some backup since things are getting so hairy. Our reinforcements should be here any minute now. Stay safe, everyone. Dismissed.
We're back. Did we get here a little early? Or a little late?
A tad late. The others have already set off. To summarize, our resident moon goddess has found us a new ally, and Boss Nefer has uncovered some promising info. Everything going smoothly on your end?
Not great. I don't know how long we can stall them for. The decoys are getting taken out way faster than we imagined. I'm gonna make some more later, but I need a timeout first. I'm so tired right now. Oh, right! Inefa, could you fill in Uncle Varka on what we just discussed with Flints?
Sure. Uncle Varka, you previously told us about how when you went to investigate a source of the wild hunt in Amsvartnir, you discovered that it was just a diversion. But according to Flints' intel, several outbreaks of the wild hunt had already occurred in Nodcry in the period leading up to that. That was before Rerir had regained his body, when he was far from regaining his full strength. In other words, in theory at least, he still lacked the means to act in two places at once.
Flints, with everything that's been happening, the Lightkeepers across Nodcry are rallying to fight back against the Wild Hunt. They're gonna need your help. I know, I'm sure you're capable of coming up with something far more effective than decoys. But for now, you should stay here and get some rest. Inefa and I will head back over to Amsvartnir to see if there's anything I missed.
I told you Uncle Varka would say that, didn't I? A deal's a deal. Not a word about my snack intake for the next week.
Database updated. Reliability of Aino's predictions increased.
What does that mean?
They were betting on how you'd respond after hearing their intel.
It's the obvious choice, isn't it? That's hardly worth betting on.
We already decided that Inefa should go investigate the situation over at Someone needs to hang back and oversee our strategy meetings. And besides, you still...
So I've ended up with the easiest assignment. Well, I appreciate it, everyone. See you when you get back.
Here, this will serve as a good spot to cross over.
Arlecchino, hold up a second! Since you brought us all this way, would you mind telling us what you got planned? We still haven't got the slightest idea what's going on here. And if even Columbina doesn't know where the iridescent moon's marrow is, how do you?
Simple. Because I am an inheritor of the royal bloodline of the Crimson Moon. And one of the last surviving embers of the Two Worlds' flames.
Huh? Are you serious? Isn't you're a descendant of that Crimson Moon dynasty we were just talking about? The one from ancient Conria?
Your surprise is understandable. I was also taken aback when I first learned of it. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the signs had been there all along. When I was young, I discovered I could wield a very special kind of fire. It coursed like blood through my veins and smoldered away inside my nerves. What's more, whenever I experienced strong bursts of emotion or drew too deeply on this power, it was like some kind of presence within the fire would begin to gnaw away at me, consuming me from the inside out.
Suas mãos.
Exactly. That is why my hands are like this too. At first I saw it only as a curse, but once I became a harbinger, the jester apprised me of the truth. Together with my own investigations over the past few years, there are several things that I have gradually come to understand. For instance, take the so-called Crimson Moon. In truth, it is nothing more than the shattered remnants of the iridescent moon, fused with the abyss to prolong its lifespan. Since this blood flame was bestowed upon me by the Crimson Moon, it is a fusion of the iridescent moon's former power and the corruption of the abyss. You all understand the nature of the abyss well enough. I draw upon its power, and in return, it hungers for my soul. This strange blackness is the mark of corruption it has left behind.
If I recall correctly, you once told me that if the corruption ever made it to your heart, you'd become a completely different person.
Yes, and that's the reason I'm always careful not to push my power too far. It's essentially a never-ending tug of war.
Oh, sounds intense.
Anyway, the rest of my story can wait. Is there anything else about the Crimson Moon or the Iridescent Moon that you're unclear about?
Paimon has a question! So, the Crimson Moon that the Karians used to worship was actually the Iridescent Moon, right? Which was one of the three Moon Sisters. Does that mean that the Karians were to the Crimson Moon as the Frost Moon Scions are to the Frost Moon?
So much of that history has been lost. We have no way of knowing exactly what they were like. But I would suspect that the Conrians weren't as devout in their moon worship as it might appear. The iridescent moon's remains simply served as their link to the abyss. Later on, perhaps someone discovered a way to make direct contact with the abyss. Or maybe there was some kind of ideological divide. Either way, a dissenting faction staged a coup and drove out the royal heirs of the Crimson Moon dynasty. Still, even with the dark sun looming high overhead, the Crimson Moon's glow never truly faded. If you want living proof, it's standing right before you.
The first time we met, I sensed something familiar in your presence. When I looked at you, I felt I could see that mysterious red moon in the corner of my eye. In your flames, I saw its broken image, surrounded by a strange black aura.
Well, I appreciate that you kept it to yourself. Much about the Crimson Moon is still a mystery, and I'd prefer not to end up as the object of an insane research project. Anyway, time is against us here, so if there's any other questions, they'll have to wait. I just want to make sure I've got one thing straight. In her letter, Sandrone mentioned that since you are unable to contain the iridescent moon's marrow yourself, you intend to leave it in my custody. Correct?
That's right. For now, it's the only way I can pay you back for your help. The iridescent moon is already part of who you are, so with its marrow in your possession, you'll be even more powerful than before.
Deal. Then let's get started.
Get what started? What does this place have to do with the Crimson Moon?
When I first became a harbinger, the jester gave me a book called Parenheri, also known as Leobranto Inamorato. You should be able to buy a copy next time you're in Fontaine. It's a love story set in the Crimson Moon era. But setting aside the tangled romances of its characters, it also records a few interesting details. In the Crimson Moon era, or so the story goes, there was an orphanage that received children from beyond the bounds of this world. and subjected them to a peculiar induction ceremony.
Beyond the bounds of this world? For real? And what kind of induction ceremony?
The Crimson Moon sages looked beyond this world for beings with powers that surpassed the gods. But fearing they might lose control, they subjected these children to a process of refinement. They made these children crawl up a fireplace and kept asking them, "Have you died? Did you see it?" Until they finally admitted to having died and seen a crimson moon. The adults embraced the children who passed the ritual, telling them, "Within the fireplace you have traversed the flames between two worlds. Here and now you are born anew." The book leaves much unsaid.
That explains why I can't sense the Crimson Moon's marrow in this world. It makes sense that it would be sealed in a special space that can only be accessed temporarily through some kind of ritual.
But there's no fireplace here. Do you see a chimney anywhere?
That won't be necessary. The fireplace is purely symbolic. The key to the ritual is crossing the flames between two worlds. In other words, the flames that burn within me. Those burned away by such flames leave behind a kind of ghostly afterimage in the world. In the days... In short, I can open a passage to that space for you. That's the easy part. The catch is I'll need to stay on this side to keep the passage open, so I won't be able to come with you. Once you're inside, you'll have to find your own way.
Entendido.
Very well. Then I'll open it up.
Traveler, spare me a little more moonlight if you would. I may need it. Thank you. I feel like I've recovered some of my strength now. It should be enough to move us across short distances and confront whatever dangers might await.
Mistress of the seven hues of ages past, great mother of the present, crimson-clad sovereign of the two realms, by fire severed, by fire renewed, I offer myself now and beseech your descent. One word of advice. As you're crossing over, no matter what voices you hear, do not...
Got it!
I sense a sinister gloom inside, but also the familiar light of the moon. I feel that I am about to meet an old friend who has changed beyond all recognition. All right, let's go.
over from another world, transcending fate itself. I have no right to.
Hey! Look up at the sky! A red moon! This must be the spot, right? Is that the abyss? It's practically filled the entire place! What now?
What a tragic sight. Fragments of your broken body, seized by the abyss, and hung up aloft like mummified remains. Iridescent moon, was this truly what you wished for?
Parece que só tem um caminho por aqui.
Careful! There's something spooky about this place. Feels like something is lurking in the fog. Paimon's right behind you. Whatever you do, don't run off without her. By the way, Columbina, didn't you tell us that the iridescent moon had shattered into pieces? The moon up there looks pretty cold, Paimon. How is that possible?
Just like I thought. It was only a facade.
Hey, wait.
Oh, so sorry. Dodge this. Cool it.
Let it rain. Hey, go everybody!
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
Cool it. Dodge this. This one will be frozen in time.
Come a little. My. Come a little closer. You're in for a little.
Cool it.
Come a little closer.
Dodge this.
Então a medula da Lumine iridescente tá lá em cima no céu.
Huh? For real? That's way too high! There's no way we'll be able to reach it!
No. I'm not sensing anything up there. It's coming from under the mountain.
Let's see... Ah! There's some kind of weird shadow over the water! Wait, see that? Looks like a mechanism of some sort! Let's check it out! survives from the time of Kanria. Maybe people once came here to study the Crimson Moon's domain, and they left this behind. Oh, if we can activate it, we might find some clues. Unlocking the secret?
Thalindis, we'll leave the rest of the research in your hands. We'll be heading back now.
I hope this isn't ruining date night.
Ugh. Mind your own business. Just leave me some snacks on the table.
Thalindis? Is that Riru's girlfriend? How come we're hearing her voice here?
Que ela era uma pesquisadora na Universidade Magistrorum.
Oh yeah! So, do you think she was studying this strange space all along?
The Abyss has made this space extremely unstable. Maybe that's why some of the things she said and did were preserved here, like echoes, or after images.
Whenever I see this view, it takes me back to a poem from my childhood. Waning moon, oh lifeless damsel, weeping on the mountain crest. Mourning still in wistful tone, her fragile soul now laid to rest. For me, of all people, to be here investigating the mysteries of the Crimson Moon space, is it a coincidence or something more?
Prepare to be blown away! Looks like the Abyss has messed up this mechanism. We need to find a way to get it working again. Let's see if there are any other devices nearby.
Freeze! Don't get frostbite. Dodge this!
Windblade!
see. So the moon marrow, or rather the power of the 3 moons, is the key to unlocking. If it really does exist, then maybe this madness can finally be put to an end. With the Abyss inhibitors in place, I should be able to access the chamber with the moon marrow. Oh, Revier, with every step you take, you're drifting further from what you truly desire. But you're not the root of the problem. Ever since that outsider set foot in Conria, the Vinster King has sunken deeper into madness. If only I could get my hands on that outsider.
Reflection is back to normal. Elindis' voice mentioned a chamber with the moon marrow. Do you think maybe it's hidden in the moon's reflection?
It must be. For within it, I sense the fragile aura of a dying soul.
Then there's no time to lose! Let's go! Looks like we'll have to destroy them if we want to get to the iridescent moon's marrow. The iridescent moon's marrow! Oh, but we'll need to destroy these things before we can reach it!
iridescent moon's marrow, still burning away like an undying flame, yet now contaminated by the abyss. If we can purify the abyssal power within, we should be able to obtain its untainted essence.
Deixa comigo.
It's so cold. Is it you? Are you here? Huh? Are you talking to us? At long last, I can see you once more. Our fates have crossed, and I am finally free. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Even knowing what was to come, I still couldn't let go of the fear in my heart as death drew near. The moment the moon shattered, my body began to split apart piece by piece. Like I was being cut into pieces by 1,000 blunt blades. My thoughts scattered as the cold crept in. But I could not bear to fade away like that. Tell me, what was it that brought you to us all that time ago? If only I had possessed your courage, then I might have been spared this torment more painful than death. You look so puzzled. That's how I felt too when I first saw you. But trust me when I say that everything happens for a reason. Farewell, Paimon. What was that all about? Was that the goddess of the iridescent moon? It sounded like she was speaking to a long-lost friend. But none of us have ever met her before, right?
Perhaps. She took me for the goddess of the frost moon she once knew. For a fading soul like hers, our auras must be too similar to tell apart.
But anyway, we've got the iridescent moon's marrow now. That should help you regain your strength, right? Alright, time to leave this place and meet back up with Arlecchino. Let's go! That's odd. This place looks different than when we came in.
Waning moon,
Huh?
oh lifeless damsel.
Oh. Hurry! The place is collapsing!
It wants to trap us here.
Who's it? The abyss?
Now we've taken the moon marrow. All that's left here is a dark will. It will show us no mercy.
Give it back! The crimson moons! My marrow! My heart! Finally! Huh? Oh no! The exit's blocked! They're back! Now what do we do?
This is where you fall. Witness my rise.
Hey, it's...
What are you waiting for? Oh, this? Don't worry. It's a small price to pay. The Abyss wanted to trap you inside, and I defied its will by bringing you out. No wonder it's a little angry.
Tem algo que eu posso fazer em troca?
No. I have paid the price, albeit a small one, and it cannot be undone. My hands have already fused with the Abyss. Purification would simply destroy whatever's left of them.
But surely... Oh, we're so sorry, Arlecchino. Paimon can't believe you'd make a sacrifice like this for us.
As much as I'd like to call it a favor, the truth is I was simply holding up my end of the deal. Well, Columbina.
Yes, you did your part. And as promised, I will leave the iridescent moon's marrow in your care. From this day forth, may the two worlds' flames burn ever more brightly.
I'll take that as a blessing. Now, Columbina, give me your hand. Accept this moonlight I offer in return. Feeling stronger?
Hey, Columbina, are you okay?
I'm fine. Our powers are a little at odds, that's all.
By the Frost Moon's authority alone, wielding the power of the other moons was always going to be a stretch. Still, I think it's fair to say that your strength has returned, at least to the level it was at as Third Harbinger.
It's still not enough. There's no way I can hope to challenge Rayrier like this. Just one more ray of moonlight, if you would.
Por favor, Columbina.
It's okay. I can take it.
How about now? Fighting fit?
At the very least, I won't have to stay hidden like before. I want to see him gone from Not Cry. The Ray here of Solnari and his wild hunt must be sent back where they belong.
Well, it's good to have something to aim for. You certainly seem more alive now than you did earlier. When I first met you, you didn't strike me as a ray of moonlight. More like a wisp of fog drifting in from who knows where, ready. But now, you're full of vitality. Just like the Frost Moon, once the brightest of them all. May you keep shining, Columbina. This is who you are.
Thank you. Look after yourself too, Arlecchino. I know you have plans of your own, and that's why you're always seeking to grow stronger. But whatever you're after, don't let the Abyss take a hold of you. I do not wish to see you go down the same path as Rayrier.
I appreciate the concern, Columbina. Although perhaps it's time you took a new name.
A new name?
Kutar, the Moon Maiden, Columbina, they're nothing more than code names. They describe who she is and the roles she's played, but they're not her real name. We often use code names in the House of the Hearth, too. But it's knowing your real name that keeps you grounded. Up till now, you've been living a wandering life, so you've probably never really cared. All I'll say is this. Once you've defeated Rerir, give it some thought. All right, that's it from me. I'll get you back safely first, then go meet up with Sandrone.
You're the best!
Nos avise da próxima vez que precisar de uma mão.
I appreciate the gesture. It speaks to your good character. Anyway, let's get going. There are more urgent things to do right now than trade compliments.
It was a close call, but we got the iridescent moon's marrow and restored Columbina's strength, and that's all that matters. In other words, mission accomplished. Paimon wonders how everyone else is doing. Do you think the others are making good progress? Hope it's all going smoothly. Oh, hey look! They made it back as well! Flintz! Lama! How did it all go?
All is well, thank you. Nefer and Yehoda had to stay at the curatorium to wrap things up, so they won't be joining us for now.
I ran into Miss Nefa and Miss Aino on the way back. Their work is still in progress, so I suspect they won't be back for a while either.
You seem rather cheerful today, Mr. Flintz.
I certainly am. I achieved what I set out to do and came away with more than I bargained for.
Mais do que você esperava?
Fighting alone can get quite tedious, but I had the good fortune to run into a pair of brave young warriors.
We meet again. How have you been?
Albedo! What are you doing here?
Já faz bom tempo.
Thankfully, tracking you down turned out to be a lot simpler than we envisaged.
These two courageously lent me a hand while I was fighting the wild hunt. When they told me they were Sir Varka's colleagues, it all made sense. And given how people of outstanding talent tend to cross paths, it's no wonder you're already acquainted.
So, who's your travel buddy, Albedo?
Why don't you come and introduce yourself?
A gentleman of few words, I see. And a rather stern countenance.
Espera.
I presumed you were acquainted with him. Is that not the case?
Espera, esses chifres, você deve ser...
It's nice to meet you. Again. We've technically met before.
Wait a sec! You're Minnie Duran!
That's right. It's me. I'm glad to see you again.
By the way, he says it's okay if you drop the mini.
Yeah, I'm not as mini as I used to be.
Interesting, isn't it? The first step towards blending into human society appears to be reflecting on whether one's name really reflects who they are.
Wow! You look so different! In a good way, of course. It's great to see you looking so healthy.
Thank you, Paimon. And although you're as mini as ever, I understand that diminutives don't always convey endearment. I'll be sure to simply call you Paimon as a sign of my great respect for you.
Wow! You're such a smooth talker now. Paimon could get used to this. From now on, you may refer to her as your esteemed guide, Paimon.
Na verdade, acho que o diminutivo é justificado aqui.
Personally, I think our little Paimon is the perfect size. When people call her little Paimon, it's just because she's so adorable that they can't help themselves. If that's not a sign of endearment, what is?
You're absolutely right, Miss Lauma. My brother still has a long road ahead of him when it comes to understanding human relationships.
Anyway, speaking of long journeys, didn't Columbina, leave with you? How come she...
She's been catching up with old friends. Wouldn't be surprised if you stopped for a cup of tea or 10 on the way back.
Uh-oh. People are talking about me. Hope it's nothing negative.
Parece que ela está melhor depois de se encontrar com seus antigos colegas.
Judging from your expressions, I'm guessing it all went well?
It's getting crowded here. I'll go grab some chairs.
No need. This is a job for an alchemist. I'll whip some up momentarily.
Thank you for your hospitality, ladies and gentlemen, but I was merely escorting my friends back. I'll be meeting Sandrone shortly, as we still have some things to discuss. It's been a pleasure, everyone. But this is where I'll say goodbye.
We really appreciate your help.
Valeu por nos apoiar.
Oh, come on. Spare the formalities. I'm just glad I could help out some true friends.
I understand. Well, bye for now, Harlequino.
Oh, this place is hopping. It's probably a good thing one of us left. Otherwise, we might not fit all these people in.
Are you saying we're about to run out of chairs?
As a matter of fact, I am. Come on in and see for yourself. I overheard your little chit-chat outside, by the way. With Miss Columbina's colleague gone, we should be back to the original crew plus the other colleagues I brought in. Though, it looks like we have another new face. Someone else managed to rope in a colleague too?
Ele provavelmente está aqui por nossa causa.
Frankly, you and Paimon are the only people I know here.
This here is Dainsleif, colleague of Tibet's greatest guide, Paimon, and greatest adventurer, the Traveler. Well, not exactly colleagues, more sort of friends.
When someone else jumps in to do the announcing, you know you're speaking to someone important.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Note to self, once Paimon knows your name, the rest of the world will soon follow.
When he comes looking for us, it's usually something important. Paimon's guessing you've heard about the Wild Hunt, then.
From the looks of it, you're about to hold a meeting. If I were to say that the Wild Hunt is our mutual enemy, would that earn me a seat at the table?
As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Mr. Dainsleif, there's a seat with your name on it. Though, I can't promise the same for everyone else. Hey, Albedo, think you can rustle up a couple more chairs?
After all this time apart, Grandmaster Varka's first order is to rustle up a couple more chairs.
Is he being sarcastic?
Hey, he's your brother. Why are you asking us?
I've still got a lot to learn about the nuances of human conversation. Trying to decipher Albedo's way of speaking has been like jumping in at the deep end.
Oh, good point. Paimon gets you now. Don't sweat it. There are people who go their whole lives without getting the hang of it. You're ahead of the game already.
Olha só pra você, Paimon.
I wonder what's taking Nefer so long.
Perhaps you should go and check in with her. If anyone can hurry her along, it's you.
I just got back from the curatorium. Besides, aren't you curious to see what's taking her so long?
Miss Nefer doesn't strike me as the type to share secrets. And since gathering intel is her specialty, I'm guessing she'd prefer to keep her methods confidential. Under such circumstances, would it not be tactless for me to impose?
Oh, but it's fine for me to impose.
What can I say? You have an unrivaled ability to garner people's affection, Miss Moonchanter. Besides, you have far more in common with her than I do.
All right, then.
Impressive. She barely fought back at all. I admire your powers of persuasion, my friend.
As I'm sure Miss Lauma will realize soon enough, the trick in life is to always pitch in with other people's responsibilities so that you can be selective with your own.
Another trick is to simply hide in the background.
Spoken like a true sage.
Anyway, looks like we've got some time to kill before the meeting. Let's take a little breather, folks. And feel free to chat amongst yourselves. We'll get down to business once the other two arrive.
Tá, então eu posso falar com qualquer pessoa. Beleza. Primeiro com esse povo aqui.
You're both awfully quiet. Why don't I start us off with an icebreaker?
Much obliged.
Have either of you ever had your portrait painted? If not, I'd be glad to help.
That sounds like a lovely idea. You know how to paint, then?
I dabble occasionally.
He's an excellent painter. Tables, chairs, people, dragons, you name it. He'll paint it for you.
I'm flattered.
If I ever get the chance, I'd like to give it a try myself.
I'll bear that in mind. Anyway, how about you, Durin? What sort of portrait would you prefer?
Oh, I'd be fine with anything. Whatever style feels best to you.
Very well. Then I'll play it by ear.
You can replicate any style I want?
I can try. If you show me a sample, I'll do my best to match it.
Thank you. In that case, I'll dig up some reference material for you.
Tá, aqui eles estão falando de pintura. Ding!
Is there something you'd like to say to me?
Yeah! For starters, why'd you just show up here without even giving us a heads up?
If you think back to our previous interactions, you may recall that that's hardly out of character for me.
You do have a point there.
Já encontrou lugar para ficar?
Oh yeah! You'll need to find somewhere to stay the night too, right? Want to tag along with us? You never know. We might get a group discount.
Sure. Let's do that.
Great! Paimon will handle it. And in return, we can get Dainslift to be our very own personal bodyguard.
Paimon, você tá pensando em voz alta de novo?
If that's what you had in mind, you should have said so sooner. I'd be happy to help.
Oh, okay then. Paimon was only kidding, but good to know. Anyway, since we're all here together, we might as well watch each other's backs. That's just what friends do, right?
Indeed. Thank you.
Tá. Provavelmente o Din vai com nós lá pra estalagem.
Truth be told, I can't remember the last time I was in a meeting with so many people.
You're not alone there, my friend. The Lightkeepers also struggle to bring everyone together for a serious discussion.
I don't doubt that. I've only ever met two Retniki, one being you, and the other being that young guy, Itlua.
Itlua is a good apple, I'll give him that. He's kind, honest, and regularly delivers supplies to my lighthouse. A true Ratnik to the core. In that sense, he puts me to shame.
So you're what? A fake Ratnik? That's what it sounds like you're saying. But I get the feeling that's not quite what you meant. Come on, why the awkward silence?
Sorry. I'm not even gonna bother trying to hide it. You've known all along, haven't you, my friend? Now that was an awkward silence.
Let's just keep this between ourselves. Probably best if Itlua doesn't know, huh?
That goes without saying. Gotta be careful what you share with youngsters, after all.
Anyone else in the know? Let me guess. The Traveler and Paimon?
It's dangerous being too sharp for one's own good, you know.
Then, in the name of the Animo Archon Barbados himself, I swear your secret's safe with me.
When we went for drinks, you said that you and Barbados were practically best buds. In the light of that claim, do you really expect me to take your oath seriously?
Of course. Just as long as you don't go spreading around the fact that I'm close with Barbados, all right?
Fair enough, then. Nothing like a bit of mutual leverage to seal the bonds of friendship.
Beleza. Tempo depois.
Ah, Miss Nefer. You made it after all. But what about Yehoda?
I'm here to give you an update on how things are going on our end. Once this is over, I'll be heading straight back to continue my work. I left Yehoda back at the curatorium to watch over things while I'm gone.
Huh. So much for just this once.
Shh! Not so loud! We're on a roll here! What if she remembers and suddenly decides to back out?
Did you say something, Mr. Varka?
Huh? I didn't say anything. Right, Flints?
Must have been a frog. They get so noisy around here at nighttime. It's like they're putting on a concert in the background.
Anyway, before we begin, there's a few introductions to make. Let me start by saying that it's an honor to be speaking before so many distinguished colleagues and collaborators. First up, we have Miss Lauma. As Moon Chanter, she's the leader of the Frost Moon Scions, a local religious community in Nodcry. Then there's Miss Nefer, boss of the Curatorium of Secrets, an intel gatherer extraordinaire. Nefer is leading the investigation into Rerer's background, assisted by Yehoda and Lauma. From the little I've heard, they're making some great progress. Over here, we have Mr. Flintz, a ratnik and guardian of the abandoned lighthouse. In our last operation, he courageously distracted the wild hunt to buy time for the rest of us. For those of you who've never met, this is Mr. Albedo, a renowned alchemist and captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team. By his side is a new face for us all, myself included, Mr. Durin, who has come to lend his aid. Next up, we have the Moon Maiden and former Fatui Harbinger, Miss Columbina. Then we have the Traveler, who's earned more titles than I could possibly hope to list out, so I'll spare you the rundown. And Paimon, the ultimate travel companion and quite possibly the best guide in all of Tevat.
Wow! That's a lot of people! Great turnout!
Miss Nefer, it looks like you might have another job coming your way, so, congratulations on the booming business, I guess.
You think I haven't got enough on my hands as it is? Who's looking for me now?
That would be me, Miss Nefer. I have a commission for you.
And you are?
Who I am doesn't matter right now. What does matter is that I'd like you to gather more intelligence about the Recher of Solnari.
Well, it's not as if we never take on anonymous commissions. But in your case, I'll have to decline. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your job's probably more hassle than it's worth. Something about you seems like bad news.
It's my eyes, isn't it?
Conrian, I assume. And what's with the mask? Are you trying to hide your identity? In any case, the fact that you're even still alive raises an awful lot of questions for me.
My name is Dainsleif. And yes, I am from Conria. As I'm sure you're aware, the Recher of Solnari's real name is Rerir. He was once an acquaintance of mine.
Really? Then you must have been quite an influential figure yourself.
You flatter me, but none of that matters anymore. My point was simply to clarify why I have asked Miss Nefer to investigate Rerir's background.
So you're both from Canria, and it sounds like you used to be friends? What am I missing here? Surely you already know how he became one of the 5 sinners.
I'll tell you everything I know. The history of Canria, the names and identities of the 5 sinners. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I have never spoken openly of this before, but the truth was exactly as people say. The 5 sinners were each driven by their own desires, and it was by playing upon these that the abyss tempted them to their fall, tearing the visionary, Vedifenir, who wished to foretell the future, the wise, Horoptatir, who sought limitless knowledge, Gold, Rhindaughter, who desired to create life, the foul, Surtologi, who pursued supreme strength, and last but not least, Raker of Solnari, Rerir, Ravager of the Moon. Of the 5, Rerir is the only one who remains a mystery to me. He never harbored grand ambitions, so what changed in the space of a single night? How did he come to fall like the others?
In other words, you're saying that his change came as a shock to you, and you have no idea what actually happened?
That's right.
You mentioned how the abyss tempted them, which led to their fall. But what did that look like in practice? And what other context can you give me about the events of that time? The more detail you can give me, the better.
Strangely, now that it comes to it, I hardly know where to begin. The fateful night took place during the era of the Eclipse Dynasty. One day, my elder brother, the visionary, Vedifenir, was summoned to the palace by the Vinster King, only for the king to gouge out his eyes and cast him into the dungeons. When I came to hear of this, my fury knew no bounds. I gathered together every ally I thought I had, and together, we set a night to storm the palace and free Ved. Centuries on, the memories of that night still haunt me like a never-ending nightmare. We broke through the palace gates, just like we had planned, each striking towards our separate targets. But then, I was betrayed. Even Vedifenir, the very person I had come to rescue, abandoned me and partook of the abyss's power.
So, it's personal after all. Then tell me, Mr. Dainsleif, what price are you willing to pay? You, of all people, must know that nothing comes for free.
I cannot say what price would be worthy of such a commission. But know this. Rerir was not always a madman. Believe it or not, there was a time when he was just an ordinary man, working for the Canrian Intelligence Service. Uncovering the truth of Rerir's past is the only way to unravel this mystery.
Sounds pretty good to me. Feels like we just flagged down a random passerby, only to discover he's actually a master strategist who has a score to settle with our enemy.
Quem diria que ter amigo de Canrian seria tão útil?
Can I borrow your halo? It could be useful in the lighthouse.
Hey, enough with the wisecracks! Besides, isn't that lamp of yours bright enough already?
Relax. It was meant to be a compliment. If that was a little over the top for your liking, I'll make sure to tone it down next time.
I'll give your proposal some serious thought, Mr. Dainsleif. Let's speak in private once the meeting is over.
Before that, there's a few things I'd like to share.
Você relata o que encontrou com a serva e como você ia da Celeste recuperaram a medula lunar incandescente no espaço da lua carmesim. Você deixa claro que a serva escolheu te ajudar por vontade própria, e em seguida concluiu relatando com os corações das três luas, então finalmente em suas mãos.
Now that we've united the hearts of the three moons, your power should be greatly enhanced. But it seems like that hasn't happened yet.
I believe it will take a little longer. You've done so much for me, so I want to be completely honest with you all. Even though I'm doing a lot better now, the truth is, my recovery will likely be an ongoing process. From the moment I was born, my power has been slowly ebbing away. And that is because Tevat has never accepted me. Even with the moons united as one, it seems my rejection cannot be undone. So far, I have yet to find a solution. It may turn out to be a problem that will plague me until the day I finally leave this place behind. Even so, I will do everything in my power to help you drive out the Ray here of Solnari. As Arlecchino put it, this is not about chasing the spoils of victory. It's just a gesture of heartfelt gratitude.
Kutar.
Ela parece mais energética e positiva do que quando nos conhecemos.
Defeating the Ray here of Solnari will be no easy task. While my strength slowly recovers, we'll also need to gather more intel.
Naturally. We should take all the help we can get if we hope to defeat him.
We've considered several viable plans now, but our choice hinges on the answers to a few key questions. Is it even possible to kill Rerir? What experiences shaped the person or monster he became? And what's he really after? Given Albedo's expertise in alchemy, I think we should leave him to try and answer the first of these questions.
Understood.
As for the other two, I'm afraid we'll have to count on you again, Miss Nefer. Believe me when I say it's not my wish to burden you. But right now, relying on your skills is our only option.
So you're placing all your hopes on me, huh?
We can't thank you enough for agreeing to help us. Honestly, I can hardly believe how lucky we are.
You sure have a talent for changing your tune, Miss Moonchanter. Timid like Yehoda one moment, then flinches insincere flattery the next.
Ladies, please. I must object to your portrayal of me. That's all. Feel free to keep bickering. Just pretend I'm not here.
I almost don't want to leave this room. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I have faith in you, Miss Nefer. Something tells me you'll stand by us until the very end.
Oh? And what makes you so sure of that? What if I suddenly decide that my compensation is insufficient?
This isn't about the money. I can sense that you've got a deep-seated distaste for Rerir, and knowing you, that alone is motive enough.
Look at them getting along so well. Like two peas in a pod.
And I'm the one they accuse of insincere flattery. There is no justice.
Miss Lauma, you have to understand something. Unlike you, I don't actually enjoy having everyone's hopes on my shoulders.
Is that right? Well, maybe the fact that I'm willing to put my hopes in other people says more about me than you. But the fact is, I also trust you. And that's because I know that you're someone we can count on.
Anyway, we've got our plan, so let's get moving. Mr. Dainsleif, let's talk. And Traveler, once we're finished, if you've nothing else planned, I'd like you to come with me.
This whole experience is teaching me a lot. For instance, I now know that when other issues come up in the future, I'll have far more luck getting Lauma to convince Miss Nefer than trying to do it myself.
Hate to say it, friend, but that's one of the funniest things I've heard in a while.
Why? You think I've got it wrong?
Quite the opposite. But what makes it so hilarious is how long it's taken you to realize.
Neff e Genshin conversam atentamente por um bom tempo. Pela gravidade de suas expressões, você consegue perceber o quanto pesa sobre os dois a próxima etapa do plano. Após uma breve conversa, Albedo e Turin saem com o Varka, no que descrevem como uma missão de coleta de amostras. Lauma sai por um tempo, então volta com um remédio urgente. Ela te diz que enquanto as pessoas raramente esperam se machucar, é o dever dela estar preparada quando isso acontece. Você e Paimon esperam pacientemente por Nefa, contentes em ver como todos estão trabalhando bem juntos. Assim que Direto termina, você segue ela e Lauma de volta à curadoria.
Bem, raposas e magos, eu vou ficando por aqui. Espero que gostem do vídeo, se inscreva no canal e ative o sininho de notificação para mais vídeos e futuras lives. Deixe seu like e comente o que estão achando. Não deixe de me seguir também nas outras redes sociais, links na descrição e até breve.